Hi Malika.
Hi Harley.
Welcome back to Sonder and Salt.
Thanks. Hi guys.
I never know how to talk to the people that are listening.
I know. Hi guys.
Hi. Whoever's out there.
Yeah.
Whoever is out there. Whoever is out there, thanks so much for leaving reviews. We have 20 reviews on our Apple Podcasts player at the moment.
20?
Yes.
Lovely.
We need to try and get some more though.
Yeah,
so if
sure.
you are listening, please do not forget to go and give us a rating and a review on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you see the opportunity to rate us, like us, share us, subscribe to us. Please do. It makes such a difference.
And on Apple you can do written ones, which is good. So
yeah.
I love reading them, and let us know where you're from.
Exactly.
That would be great.
Because we want to start putting some names to some faces.
Yeah,
even over on Instagram, we need to get people to say if they're the ones from wherever.
Actually, speaking of people on Instagram, we should probably shout out Jelena. And Food is Life and Love.
Yeah.
She listens every single week. She always posts us. So I really we appreciate you.
How have you been this week? What's popping? What's the highlight of the week?
Good.
Update me.
This week has been pretty chill.
Yeah.
It's been quite chilled. Yeah. I don't have any big food highlights. I will say, coming off the back of Gusto, I have been struggling to find my mojo again and get back into meal planning. I know why I took out Gusto, but then now that I've decided to pause it, there's a bit of a void. So it's just about getting back into the habit, the planning around meal prepping, making sure that I'm doing it on time so I'm not starting the week
100%.
off kilter.
Yeah.
But I was away for the weekend, so I didn't start my week at home, which means I didn't plan.
Yeah.
But speaking of Gusto, I've got a fact.
Oh, go on.
Or a bit of a tidbit of information.
Oh, go on.
Did you know that aubergines are a natural laxative and diuretic? I did not know that.
And how did you find out?
My last Gusto box, actually, I was too pained to talk about it at the time. But in my last Gusto box, I had a Sri Lankan aubergine curry with black rice and stuff, and it was nice. There were a couple of things I didn't like about it, but it was a significant amount of aubergine that I was having cooked down, very soft. I quite liked the concept.
Yeah.
My stomach then told me
something's going on.
That something was going on,
right.
And I had to work back and think, what did I eat? What is going on? I haven't had any gluten. And it was different. It was different. It wasn't a gluten attack. Did my Googles, and it turns out that aubergines are a natural laxative and diuretic. So
I never would have known.
If you don't know what a diuretic is, it's something that draws water from the body. And that was the sign.
I think coffee is as well.
Yeah.
Dehydrates you.
Yeah.
You think you're drinking water because you've got the big drink in you.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah, if you're ever feeling a bit, stomach's not quite right.
What do you think the portion size was? Not to drag on this. How did you eat 8 aubergines?
No, it was 2 aubergines.
Yeah.
That was split across 4 portions.
But you ate it back to 2 meals in a row.
I feel like it was after the first portion, but the amount, I guess, to have in that meal of the two of the it would have been half an aubergine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been half an aubergine, and I probably have never had half an aubergine in one sitting before.
I fell in love with aubergine actually over HelloFresh.
Yeah.
And this was back in the pandemic days when we couldn't get food. So I was ordering HelloFresh. And there was this miso aubergine tacos that they used to put in there, which I've made many times since without HelloFresh. Because I'm a Gusto babe.
Did you make it the other day? Or you just grilled some aubergine?
The other day I just grilled some aubergine, yeah. I've got half in the fridge now, literally.
The tech time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, if half turned you, I think, I don't know, maybe I don't know.
I had 4 portions and it happened to me every time I had it. So I believe that my stomach can't handle more than a quarter of an aubergine. Yeah, you just have to
work your way through.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, well, good, interesting facts. Anybody who's listening.
Yeah. About the miso aubergine. So what is it?
It's just a really nice aubergine taco dish. But before the pandemic, I didn't eat aubergines.
Yeah. And
then I discovered it in that way, where you kind of dry fry it, or you can roast it. But I always used to dry fry it because I was doing it on lunch break after my Body by Kira workout.
Yeah.
And then dry fry it for 5 minutes just so it kind of chars. Then add some olive oil. And then in a bowl you just mix together some. I think it's Japanese soy sauce specifically, which I've only ever bought 1 bottle since. Then I just started using soy sauce. Miso. Sesame oil, and you toast some sesame seeds in a pan and mix it all together, basically drizzle it on at the end, and then you also pickle some red onions. And it sounds like you're doing a lot, but it takes 20 minutes tops, like literally so quick to come together. The onions are not like deep pickled; they're just like lime juice, little side bowl.
Oh, okay.
The time that's the first thing you do. The time it takes you to do everything else, your onions are kind of ready. But yeah, that was a good aubergine thing. My foodie highlight of the week is actually a beverage.
Okay.
Listen, I've been going for a lot lately. Like a lot, and I finally got some booze in. The other day when I was coming home,
January is over.
Finished. That was the thing of the past. I got some pink gin and tonic cans one day when I was coming home.
From where? Marks and Spencer?
No, from Nissa, please.
Oh,
they were Gordon's though.
Oh, okay.
But like,
okay.
And then when my Tesco order came, literally yesterday, it had a bottle of Stone's ginger wine in it. I think the full name is Stone's Green Ginger Wine. I have noticed, however, it's back up to being £6.50 flat rate. Even with club card? No, there's no club card offer. It was £5 with club card.
I should have bought it up.
I know, and then I saw it in Tesco Express, the one that's actually at a petrol station. So obviously the prices are a bit more inflated. It was £7.50 in there with no club card.
Gotta be joking it,
So I bought a bottle of Stones. Last night I had a little glass. I feel like a proper little grown up when I drink Stones. I've only started drinking it properly recently. My parents have been drinking it for years. It's a Jamaican. It's not a Jamaican thing at all.
It's an English wine.
So Stones, it's not a Jamaican product. It's not a product of Jamaica.
It's big in the culture. I always thought it was like Jamaican, especially because it's ginger as well.
Yeah, and I think so. My dad and my mum, I think, will drink it with Ray and nephew as well.
Gosh, they're not easy.
Like so, it's Stones with Ray. And I think maybe that I just assumed it's like two Jamaican products. Because you know what I could have sworn was Jamaican?
What?
Guinness.
Well, yeah, but it's Irish. It's
Irish.
Yeah. And then you've got Nigerian Guinness as
well. My granddad would drink Guinness Punch, like Guinness and Nourishment.
Oh, okay.
Or Nutriment, whatever it's called. Yeah, my dad would drink it like that as well. Because my dad used to be a postman. Yeah. So he would literally run in for a energy, like imagine like half a Guinness, half a thing, just crash on the sofa.
Serious?
Like he's been walking all day long. Take the edge off the day. Just chill. But that's how I've been enjoying my Stones anyway. It took the edge right off of yesterday.
Wait, you've been enjoying it with Ray Nephew?
No, of course not. Are you crazy? I wouldn't be here now. I've been drinking Ray Nephew yesterday. Times are hard, but they're not that hard.
How have you been having it?
I have been having it how you told me to have it.
Okay, go on. Remind me.
You made it for me a while back. And the mixer that you made it with, I haven't been able to get since.
It was in Sainsbury's. I'm going to try and find it for you guys.
It's like long tail mixers, right? Something like that. I think it might be. And it's got a little monkey on it or something.
I picked it up like for the first time.
Yeah, when you were coming here. I know, when I see it, I'll know to buy it. Yeah. But what I did was put the 2 large ice cubes in. I didn't have any crushed ice anymore. That bag of ice days are over.
Oh, yeah.
I squeezed the lime onto the ice as you told me to. And then a substantial amount of large 2/3.
Yeah.
2/3 Stones ginger wine in the glass. Yeah. And then, so the mixer that I got was, I bought a box of the Fever Tree ginger ale.
Okay, yeah.
Because I could only have one. So me buying Fever Tree bottles, they always go flat before I finish them.
They do, yeah.
So I just been buying
like individual
the cans. Because they're not like cans. They're like 150 or 180 ml.
Yeah. Like the mini cans.
Yeah.
And it's about a glass's worth of mixer.
They're the bar cans. Yeah. I like it as well when you come in the tonic. Because when you make, I have like shot measures and stuff. If I do a perfect shot of gin and then have a tonic, it's perfect. Yeah. It's bar measure.
Yeah.
And I just topped it with that and then went in the sofa and
with the wedge of lime.
With the wedge of lime. Wedge of lime in there. Yes.
Yeah. I love Stone's ginger wine. I love cooking with it as well. I like to use it. I think I've said this before. I'm getting deja vu, but I feel like I said that I like to cook with Stone's ginger wine with like beef. Do you remember? I feel like I've said this in a previous episode. Was this talking about short rib? Could have been. Yeah, because I've done it with short rib before.
The one thing that we have discovered that we need to up our level is the Stone's Special Reserve.
Yes, darling. Yeah.
Darling. Yeah. Green ginger wine. So the regular Stone's is just green. As in the label packaging is just green, and there's reserve. It's like a deep, mature maroon color.
Depth. It's got depth,
darling. It's got depth. Yeah. It even looks like the gold of the detailing pops a little more. Yeah. The detail says for a more intense, rich ginger flavor. It's giving a bit of me. And then, did you know that they make Stones in a can?
I didn't know that.
Stone's Ginger Punch, perfect when you're on the move.
Really?
And then there's also Stone's Ginger Joe. They're alcoholic ginger beer.
Mm. And where is this available? On their website? Or
I'm on their website right now, but I'm sure if I dig around somewhere, it will tell me where to retail. But the Reserve, I know they sell it at Waitrose.
Okay.
I've never seen it with my eyeballs.
Yeah.
But when I've Googled it, it's come up as Waitrose wine cellar.
Oh, I think it might be like a e-commerce type.
Well, I think it depends on the branch. To say like the Waitrose at King's Cross has the wine cellar department. Yeah. Whereas the one in Stratford doesn't. It's just got like an aisle of wine.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
I might check in my local Waitrose for it because I would love to taste the Reserve.
I would love to taste it.
Yeah, because I love ginger wine, and I love ginger wine because you can actually drink it straight quite comfortably.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to push it. I feel like I'm already drinking it quite strong.
Yeah.
But I can see myself this year at some point with the work that I'm putting in.
Just swinging it from the bottle.
Needing a little something. But yeah, that's my little foodie highlight of the week.
Lovely.
On to today's topic. Today we're going to, I don't know why I'm still using this voice. Today we're going to be talking about
so boring.
Kitchen appliances.
Yes.
What a topic.
It's a what do you call it?
This episode might be a while.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole.
Let's start first and foremost. Let's kind of go back and forth. What is your favourite appliance?
My favourite appliance of today.
Yeah, like what have you got right now that you're like, love it?
There's a couple of things. Two things that I love. One of them is kind of, for me, it's kind of like a given, like a mini chopper.
Okay.
I think sometimes I don't want my hands smelling like onions and garlic. And sometimes I just want to chop a bunch of stuff, especially if I'm making like a quick tomato pasta dish or like a stew or something. Slap those onions, garlics and peppers.
Is yours like a electric one, or is it one of the one that you stamp and
it's
it
an
chops
electric one.
Okay.
So it's actually a
hand blender, immersion.
3-in-1 type of thing. Squash the stuff in there, and then we're done. I love that. It's just so convenient in the kitchen, and sometimes it doesn't make my hands smell. One thing that I really, really love, and I've kind of abandoned it, it's my juicer. I love my juicer. When I was at my best and I was juicing and I did the book 7 and it was about juices and soups and stuff, I had that juicer out all the time.
Really?
But I loved it. Yeah, I bought a masticating juicer.
Yeah, that's important.
And do you know what, guys?
So the difference is, are you going to look up?
Yeah.
So the difference is masticating juicers literally like squash the juice out of the fruit.
It's a cold press.
It's a cold press.
When they say cold press, they're using a masticating juicer.
But then I don't think they're necessarily always the same, because I think for it to be called a cold press juicer, it has to be like through very certain standards, because the process of pushing it through produces heat. I think there's like
it might be like the materials of the machine.
But the masticating ones, you often, it's almost like X-ray. You can see what's going on in the blender. It twirls, and the kind of the funnel of it gets narrower and narrower, and it squashes the juice out. So mastication is the process of chewing, basically. That's the same name.
Sense,
so it's literally like the crushing of the food to get the juice out.
And then you can get a centrifugal,
which is when it basically runs it through a blade at the same time as you push it through, and it extracts the juice.
Yeah, and it produces a lot of heat and potentially breaks down sugars, some of the sugars and the
fiber,
vitamins and stuff that's in there. So I prefer
both produce pulp and juice.
Yeah.
But I think because you're literally squashing to death, I think you get more juice out of your masticating juice. Like the pulp should be drier.
Yeah. And it's meant to be better, apparently.
Yeah.
So I have a masticating juicer. And I love my juicer. And actually, I bought the juicer on Amazon. I don't actually know if it's still available. I
bought my dad a masticating juicer. That's why I know so much about them a couple of years ago. And he loves it. He's also a big juice person. I got it at John Lewis. I think it's Philips.
Okay. Yeah, apparently my one. Okay, no, it's not unavailable. I bought a Fridger powerful masticating juicer. Apparently #1 bestseller in masticating juicers on Amazon, and I really, really love it. It's sleek, it's black. Juicers naturally take up space.
Yeah, they're quite big.
That's the thing. If you want to have a juicer and you don't have a lot of counter space or anywhere to pack it away, it can be frustrating. But I've had this juicer for a while. Really good, sturdy.
Is it easy to clean?
Easy enough for a masticating juicer, because you've got like the sieve part of it where the pulp sometimes gets stuck. And
okay.
the thing with the juicer is you have to be willing to clean it straight away. You can't allow the pulp and stuff to dry onto the juicer, otherwise you're in problems. Because I have done that before.
Soak it like a burnt pot.
Yeah, it's hard. But I love my juicer. And you can also make, if you have frozen fruits, you can also make quick sorbets and that kind of thing with a juicer. And I think there's a couple of other things, but I primarily use my juicer to juice.
Okay.
And yeah, I really enjoyed that time of my life. I think it was a good investment. And for me personally, you can find other ways around juicing without having a juicer. You can use a muslin cloth.
So I use my NutriBullet, and then sometimes I blend it twice. I add more water in the second time, and then I just push it through a sieve.
Yeah, you can do that. But if you just, for me, when I just want pure juice, the juicer is the best thing. Yeah,
I do not have the counter space for it.
Yeah.
I say that having squeezed in one of my new personal appliances by rearranging the entire kitchen around it, and that is my air fryer. I got this air fryer. My mum bought me this air fryer. My parents got me this air fryer, and I was like, I knew that air fryers were notoriously big and clunky because we have one at work. And the thing is, it has the like drawer thing. So not only do you have to have like enough counter space for it, you kind of have to have enough counter space to like lift out the entire drawer and rest it if you want to like turn something over or whatever, or else you've got to take it out and find somewhere for it to go. So I opted for one that's more like a mini convectional oven, so that it has a door that opens at the front rather than this removable element. But it didn't make it any smaller. And I got this air fryer thinking, oh yeah, it will fit in this gap.
Yeah.
It did not fit. It did not fit. And I had to do some rearranging. Luckily, I have some other like space. So I have a mini fridge separately.
Yeah.
And I use basically that. I moved the coffee machine over there. Whole long story short, got this air fryer in and I love it. And it has shelves in it, so I can do more than one thing at once. I think I spoke about
Christmas,
it.
Right?
I use it for Christmas, I used it for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I did all the chicken wings in there. Just
Thanksgiving?
Friendsgiving.
Oh,
you were there.
Friendsmas, that's what I'm talking about.
Friendsmas, yeah. Sorry, well, this year ended up being Christmas, wasn't it? But it's like,
yeah, I was thinking
you don't pay me any mind.
I was thinking you weren't here for Thanksgiving.
No, I did did trays of chicken wings in there, really, really good. I've been using it all the time. It's helped me eat salmon.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not that good at pan frying salmon the way I want it to be done. The whole crispy skin thing. I just can't. I got so close the other day, like half of it was crispy, but then the other half wasn't.
You might not be using enough oil in the pan, but that's neither here nor there.
No, because I think what it is as well is that I get worried because the way I've been doing the salmon has been like soy, garlic, honey.
Yeah.
The honey starts to burn.
Okay.
Because it kind of drizzles off, and then I'm like, and then I move it, and once you move it, apparently you're not like,
that's
you
it.
lose the crispiness kind of thing. So air frying it hasn't been producing that crispy skin, but it's just been helping me cook salmon in a way that it's done the air fryer way, and I like it. Whereas when it's done in the pan and it still comes out soft, I'm over it kind of
thing. When you do your crispy, I see you have like crispy broccoli. Is that in the air fryer?
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah. It goes in like 2 seconds. And the nice thing is that if you do it in the air fryer with something else, it will also kind of steam it at the same time.
Okay.
Because if not, it's crisping it. Like tender stem is fine because they're so tender stemmed. But with the price of tender stem being £8 a kilo, I've been buying regular broccoli. I had to say goodbye to tender stem life, and just kind of cutting the florets quite small, and it's still all crisp it. But I have done it on the top shelf over the salmon. Yeah, and I think it just helps it get a little bit more steamy and not just crisp florets.
Okay.
So you don't have an air fryer, do you?
No, I don't have an air fryer. I've been thinking about it. No, wait. I had one for a little bit. My mum gave me like a very small, cheap one for a little bit, but it was too small that sometimes I felt like all it could fit was like 3 sausages. Okay. It just wasn't really functional for me. It was annoying. But I felt like at one point, because we had a discussion about me getting an air fryer.
We were going back and forth.
But then I did some Googles, and apparently most microwave ovens actually function more or less the same as an air fryer. And if you have a microwave oven, then it doesn't make sense to invest in an air fryer. Yeah. And when I redid my kitchen, my oven is actually a microwave oven. I used it the other day because there's sections on there that I just never go to. Functions I never use. I just go to microwave, and I can see that it does actually double up as an oven. So I need to spend some time actually like reading the instructions, etc. But I like the idea of an air fryer. I like how your one looks. I like the shelves and stuff. But if I've already got the microwave oven, I might as well just forget about it.
I think, I can't remember if we linked it when I spoke about when I got the air fryer. We did an episode and I was like, I got an air fryer. There is an episode of the Bon Appetit podcast where they go to basically discuss, I think the title is something like, is it just a load of hot air?
Yeah.
And it does explain basically, we don't tend to have as many appliances as Americans do, where they have like a microwave and on the counter they may have also a microwave oven.
Okay.
Like, well, my family do anyway. And when I look at that thing, I'm like, oh, it's an air fryer. They just, it's almost had a rebrand.
Yeah, it's a
mini convection oven. Sorry, it's almost had a rebrand. It's just very intense, small. I think obviously it had a boost in popularity at the end of last year due to the fact that it is more energy efficient if you're cooking smaller portions than using your whole oven.
Yeah.
And it runs for a short amount of time because it's like just a blast of heat. So yeah, my air fryer.
Yeah.
I think my second kitchen appliance, I don't know if this qualifies as a kitchen appliance, but I feel like it does.
Okay.
And the other day I was thinking, if I actually just used it efficiently, it would solve so many of my problems. And that is my dishwasher.
Oh, okay.
I have I think it's called a slimline dishwasher. So it's half size basically. There was one in the kitchen of the flat when I moved in. It was broken. She didn't tell me.
Yeah.
So I just replaced it when I got the kitchen done. Or else I don't think I would have intentionally got a dishwasher because I lost a cupboard basically in getting a dishwasher. Best thing ever.
I love my dishwasher.
Best thing ever. Is yours full size though?
Yeah,
right?
mine is full size because
yeah.
I don't live by myself. It's just me and one other person,
yeah.
my brother. But I did consider getting a slimline, and my parents said to me, "Well, I can just get the big one." And it doesn't make sense.
Yes. Now I've got that. Well, now I have a half, and I had a big one at my parents' house. And when I go there and I put stuff in the dishwasher, I'm like, wow, look at all this space.
And you can put I don't put pots in there, but I would use like my glass meal prep containers. I can put them in there comfortably, all the plates, all the cups, and chopping boards and that kind of stuff. So
typically I can fill it in a day, sometimes a day. If I'm probably going to fill it today because I'm going to meal prep.
Yeah.
So I'll probably use a couple of bowls and a couple of knives and forks and this kind of stuff. But love my dishwasher. Yeah. But the other day my sink was full of dishes and my dishwasher was empty. I was like, oh.
Yeah, just with the dishwasher, you just have to be in the habit of rinsing straight away and popping it in the dishwasher.
And I was just so annoyed at myself. So yeah, had a couple baked like what you said about the juicer. You've got to deal with it straight away.
I have one appliance that I used to love, but I don't use it anymore.
Oh, go on.
And it was El Clasico in my kitchen. My George Foreman grill. I was using that George Foreman grill. It went to work. That thing was working hard.
What did you make in it?
So I've been meal prepping for a long time. And I used to use my George Foreman grill for all of my meats and fish.
Chicken breast.
Basically, yeah. The chicken, boneless chicken thighs. I went for a phase of boneless chicken thighs.
That's what I've got to know.
Yeah, and salmon. I actually used to cook my salmon in the George Foreman grill.
Is it the type that you close?
Yeah. So you can either leave it up, or it's got like a top and bottom grill, and you just basically squash the food between it. And it meant that when I was doing other things, I just put it on the George Foreman grill, left it there, and then came back and took it off. But I used to use that George Foreman grill every single week. I would season stuff and just slap it on the George Foreman, and I would season stuff in advance, lock it into an airtight container, and then every day when I'd come from work during that week, I could cook my chicken fresh.
Yeah,
and all I had to do was wipe it down, and that was it. I wasn't taking out a pan.
Who is George Foreman?
He's a boxer. He used to be a boxer.
And how did he end up being
I think he
grill man?
I think there was a time where, like, a lot of sportsmen were trying to find alternative ways of generating income and that kind of thing. So they would create product, basically. So
the George Foreman lean, mean, fat reducing grilling machine.
Lean, mean, fat grilling machine.
Fat reducing grilling machine, also commonly referred to as simply the George Foreman grill, is a portable double-sided electrically heated grill manufactured by Spectrum Brands. It is promoted by two-time world heavyweight boxing champion George Foreman. Since its introduction in 1994, over 100 million George Foreman grills have been sold worldwide. And I bought about 3 of them. Yeah. One day it broke. I said I went straight to Tesco. Really? Got a new one?
That bad boy, yeah.
I feel like I had one growing up. I'm definitely familiar with the concept. I don't think I've ever actually used it myself to actually cook on. We did have a sandwich machine though. A sandwich press.
We definitely had one. I don't know anyone in the UK that didn't have a sandwich press growing up.
Yeah.
And you make like the cheese melt type sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And it had the triangle griddle.
I'm feeling for one.
Yeah. Good old cheese toasty.
In my family, we used to do cheese with corn relish. Did you ever have corn relish?
No.
Oh gosh, cheese with corn relish.
I didn't really eat cheese as a child.
Okay.
I probably was given it in a cheese sandwich and just been told that's a sandwich. But I would never have been like, oh, I'd like to pair this cheese with this relish, please.
Corn relish. I might have to go and get some this week with cheese. Banging. My brother was a mouse when he was young. Literally, my mum's a mouse. He was a mouse. Like he loved. I think even now he still loves cheese, but back then he could just eat cheese.
Yeah,
for
no,
fun.
I never had that.
And we had a lot of cheese and corn relish sandwiches.
One day, I think at some point during the pandemic, when we were just running out of things to find joy in, me and my mum decided we wanted grilled cheese sandwiches, and we made these grilled cheese sandwiches. And my mum was like, "Yeah, you've got to put apple in it." And
apple?
I was like, yeah,
like
apple.
The fruit?
Yeah, like very thinly sliced apple in this grilled cheese sandwich. Like mature cheddar. This was her combination. I can't remember what the deal was with it, but mature cheddar, apple, and maybe something. But in my head, it made sense because I was like, oh, it's chutney.
Yeah.
Like she's giving it just a bit of tang, like with sliced green apple. But
it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It wasn't I just had a bite of hers. She was like, just try it. I was like, okay.
Okay, sure. Interesting. But no, the George Foreman back in the day had me in a chokehold. I relied on that thing.
And why did you fall out of love with it?
Just because the cooking style got boring. It just got boring. And with the George Foreman, the way it's designed, because it's a fat reducing grilling machine, all the fat drips off. As I've grown older and I understand...
That is flavour.
Yeah, I understand diets a bit
flavor.
more. It's just... What I found I was doing is I was using the George Foreman and then I would add fat back into the salad. Like I'd add olive oil into my salad, etc. Whereas when I pan fry my meats now, I will use some of that fat of the chicken and add it into...
Create something else with
it. Yeah, like when I add it to the salad or to the rice, it's got natural juices on it already. So I think I just grew out of it because I really did use it for a very, very long time. I had a mini one for like one person when I was just like solo dolo. And then there was a bigger one when I wanted to make more food, or like when I moved back home and my mum would want some of the salmon off the George Foreman. Yeah.
Interesting. No, I never had one. Yeah. Like I love the fact that you had so much use out of it, because I can see in my inner eye all of the George Foremans that my various family members had in the box on top of the counter, on top of the cabinet. Like I can see it. I looked up and seen it, because a lot of these appliances become a waste of time, a waste of space, or they become inconvenient. And like I feel like I don't know if they still do. Do they still call these white goods? White goods is like washing machines and stuff,
white
right?
Goods. Yeah, but aren't white goods just appliances that typically, like in the cheap version, come white? Is that so? That's what I'm thinking. So in my head, everyone had these white appliances that they never used. Yeah, because it's like the fad.
Yeah, like the George Foreman was a white thing. So just talking about waste of time appliances that I just saw not getting used in my childhood and even into my adult life.
Yeah.
The juicer was one for a while because the one we had was a white plastic crappy one that was so inconvenient to use. Nobody wanted to use it. Everybody wanted to juice, but nobody wanted to juice.
The cheap ones are hard to clean as well.
So hard to clean, just an absolute nightmare. The appliance, maybe the first appliance I ever bought that I subsequently ended up giving away, and I'm not even sure if the person I gave it to has ever used it since, was my crock pot.
Really? You're not into slow cooking?
I thought I wanted to be that person. I think it was
72-hour pulled beef.
Like you know what it is? Similar to the George Foreman. I wanted to be the kind of meal prepper who did slow cook things and then divvied it up throughout the week, or like could be doing their uni project whilst their dinner's cooking, like whatever. Because even though I was at home at uni, there was a certain level of independence that I had and that my parents forced upon me, which was like, bye.
Yeah.
Like, we're going out and you're 19.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get when they're out next time, I'm going to get my slow cooker out. I'm going to do stuff. Never did I use the thing.
How much did it cost you?
Luckily, this thing is like the sisterhood of the travelling crock pot. My friend had it. She bought it on eBay.
Yeah.
Because I think she was vegetarian. So she was like, I'm going to do all these stews.
Yeah.
Used it once. Then I saw it and she was like, I've used it once. And I was like, oh my God, can I have it? Because I'm going to use it loads. It was sitting on the kitchen floor, I think for a year. So my mum was like, move it. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
So I moved it into a cupboard and managed to keep it for another, probably like a year, until my cousin one day was talking about one, and I was like, I've got one, you can have it, you can have it, you can have it.
So you actually never used it?
Never used it.
I'm not really into them crock
and
pots,
now,
slow cooker meals.
So now there's a big trend, obviously with all these appliances and stuff on TikTok. There's actually a guy who's released a cookbook. It's called the Slow Cooker Cookbook, the Healthy Slow Cooker Cookbook. And his Instagram and stuff is Bored of Lunch. He does all these slow cooker meals, and they actually don't look too bad. There's lots of like pastas, like stock pastas and stuff that you put in.
I gotta check this out. I got it.
You're not convinced?
I'm not.
There's many of them I wouldn't do. They're very much like, if you don't know how to cook, or you're trying to feed your family of 5 for £5,
like
and
there's 12 in the family, so just throw all this stuff into the crock pot. Yeah.
Slow cooker or whatever. Remember, crock pot is a brand, so ultimately it's a slow cooker. But yeah, it wasn't for me. It was a complete waste of time.
I think the only reason why I would use my slow cooker.
Do you have one?
There's one in the garage. My mum is quite an appliance babe, so there's some things in the garage that I never bought or never knew we had. But I'll go out there and I see I saw a bread maker the other day.
That's
but
another one.
It's been living outside for so long. I took it to the dump. Like, it just looked ridiculous.
Okay.
But I see people online. I think I've seen the Kitchenista do it, where they use it to make stock. So I would do something like that because I have created stock on the stove, and I just didn't like the idea of the cooker going for so long.
Yeah.
So I would use the stock, like the crock pot or the slow cooker, to make stock. But generally, when I see these slow cooker meals and just people pouring a bunch of stuff into there, there's something about it that just doesn't tickle my fancy. I just don't like the cooking process too much.
I don't love it. Someone turned up actually with oxtail. The oxtail for Thanksgiving came at my cousin's house in a slow cooker.
Yeah. It was good?
I didn't eat any.
Oh yeah.
But I can imagine something like that as well, that if you want to leave it on, but particularly on Thanksgiving Day when you need to leave or you need to go out or you need to whatever. So just carry it in the thing that you can then just plug it in at someone else's house, warm it back up, and it just do its thing. Yeah. I did like the concept of that, but even then I was looking at it like, oh, this is so smart. I don't eat this, so I don't need. I
think
need
slow
it.
cookers for me work well with like red meats, and when people.
But you don't like pulled meat, do you?
No, but I think one time I did.
A ragu or something.
No, I think I did use like short beef, and I was busy that day, so I thought, let me use this bad boy. Threw it in there, but I like browned everything first, and then I threw it in there. I think I put some like wine and that kind of stuff. My issue was, I was hungry 2 hours later and it was taking too long.
Put the slow in slow cooking.
Yeah, I just don't know when I would ever I would be willing to wait 8 to 12 hours for my meat to cook.
8 to 12? No. The ones I'm seeing these days
4?
Are like, 4, or sometimes it's literally just like 2, because especially the ones that have like
with
orzo. Well, it depends what I'm saying. It depends. If they're like chickeny or they're like orzo or pasta, I mean maximum 2. Like
this was a bunch of red meats. I just felt like it was taking too long. I pulled it out and put it into a pot. Turn it on high, and I was like, let's go, because I'm trying to eat dinner by 6 o'clock.
Let's get this wrapped. So that is so funny.
It might be something I would fall into later in life, but it just doesn't. Not really interested.
So you said your mum's an appliance babe. I think I was destined to be an appliance babe, because at points in my childhood I had, like the kiddie ones. Yeah. Like the kiddie pancake press and the kiddie waffle machine and the kiddie whatever. And I'd be the same. If my kids turn up and say, Mum, can I have the kiddie thing over a PlayStation? I'm going to be like, yes.
Sure. Yeah.
You can have it. You can have the hair braider. It's not going to work, but you can have it. You can have the hair beader.
You mean the thing that you held in it? Yeah.
Have it all. So I had a lot of that kind of gadget stuff, and I was the only child. So it's like hours and hours of fun.
Yeah.
And the waffle machine was always something that I thought I wanted. That I was like, when I grow up, I'm going to get one. Yeah. I'm going to get a waffle machine. I'm going to get a waffle maker. I'm going to get a waffle.
I've got a waffle maker. I actually gave a waffle maker away on Instagram, like during the pandemic. I was like doing all these little giveaways. Oh yeah. And I love the idea of the waffle maker. Yeah. I think my waffle maker actually potentially doubles up as like a sandwich press. Maybe. I need to check that out.
With like a grease proof in it, maybe.
Yeah, I've used it once. Realistically, how many waffles am I eating? Like, do you know what I mean? I was never eating waffles at that rate before. But it's there, and it lives in a box somewhere. I've probably used it twice in the past 2-3 years or something like that. I had some leftover pancake mix, and I just poured it in there to make a waffle. Maybe I'll throw my banana fritters mix in there, make a banana fritter.
These
waffle.
banana fritters are haunting me.
But yeah, the waffle maker, I could have done without it. I'll be so real, I could have done without it. I didn't need it.
I've never had a bread machine, which you just mentioned. And I've seen them, and once I learned to make bread, I never could understand what a bread machine does.
It makes the bread for you.
But how? Like, it only takes two steps to make bread by hand. Really? So what could the bread machine be doing that's worth £400?
I think it's pretty much like the slow cooker where you just pour everything in. You don't need anything with a bread machine. I don't believe you need and proof.
It just does the whole thing.
Yeah, it does the whole thing. Like, you pour the stuff in, it does the kneading, it leaves it to proof, and then it cooks it.
I think in my head, the concept of me being somebody who just makes bread involves me having a life that allows me to make it.
Okay.
I can't imagine I'm just going to be like, you know, frivolous retired housewife and then be like, oh, bing, bread, I'm going to want to do it. Like,
okay.
Maybe because, well, I'm a baker. Like, I like to get into it. I like to do the thing myself, but I've never understood what a bread machine is doing in there.
I think it does all the steps that you don't need your hands to do it. From what I remember of my mum using the bread maker.
But like for £500.
I doubt I can't imagine my mum bought it for £500. I'll be so real. She probably found it discounted somewhere and thought, oh, why not? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was living in the garage. I took that bad boy to the dump.
Right, there's a bread machine at John Lewis, £100, the cheapest one, Panasonic.
Yeah,
okay, there are some now, but like Sage. Okay, Sage is the brand in my head that I know they make really good appliances. There's this soup machine or maker that they have where literally it will chop, like you can literally drop the carrot in, it will chop it, and then it drops down to the next part and it'll cook it and whatever.
The Sage juicer thing, whatever it is, it was like 300 something pounds.
Yeah, so the Sage...
I nearly bought it. It looked fantastic.
They're such good appliances, I know they are. But so the Sage one is £250. Like, so I know they range. The cheapest one I'm seeing here is like £100 Russell Hobbs by Argos, which I think I've got Russell Hobbs appliances. I trust them. They're good.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, I've never understood why something that just takes 2 ingredients to make and 2 pieces of hands.
Because I think when it comes to like baking, things like making bread and stuff, people that don't bake, especially pre-pandemic, seemed quite intimidated about making bread. And so a bread maker would make faultless bread. All you had to do is put in the right amount of ingredients and that's it. Whereas I think a lot of people weren't kneading it appropriately. Didn't quite have the technique. And
wasn't coming out right.
Like, loaves of rock, basically, or rock loaves. So the bread maker... so the bread maker gave people confidence to make perfect
Fair enough. No, I get that. I just, for the size of it, for everything, I'm just like, that is one thing
they're chunky. Like, they take up counter space, like most appliances.
Yeah, to be honest. Any other waste of time appliances that you've had or not had, or that you just don't see the point in ever having?
No, not really, because for me, I've never really been...
Or trendy things that you're like, what is the point? For me, I don't know if this qualifies as appliance, probably doesn't. You know those pans that have sections in?
My mum bought me one of those.
For like the 2 egg holes and the bacon.
I've never used it and I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. She saw it somewhere. My
Facebook adverts, probably.
My mum went for a phase where anything that looked like it was for a foodie or somebody that likes to cook, she would buy it for me to try it out.
That's so
She's very much a like, try it out and see if you like it. So one thing I do actually have in my kitchen, in my garage, is a hot stone grill. So my uncle bought it for me.
What, like a Korean barbecue thing?
Yeah, I've got a hot stone grill outside, which I've never used. I definitely want to like try and use it but I think it's the kind of thing that I'd have to be hosting. Yeah, having like a dinner party, and I haven't really done that over the last couple of years, especially post-pandemic. I haven't really hosted.
Come on.
I mean, when I redecorate my living room and stuff, I'll be more inclined to host. Okay. I just sold my dining table.
So you can't host anyone right
eBay,
now?
Yeah, so we're struggling down there. There's just loads of empty open space. But I think that would be my aim. It's there, so it's not something that's going to expire. But yeah, I've got a hot stone grill
that you've never used.
And I've got also like a mini. I don't know what it is. It's like a mini pot. I think it's like you could do cheese fondue in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like one of those little mini machines.
Warming.
It's like a warming machine. Got one of those. Never used it. Don't know where it came from. Potentially a legacy of my parents. Yes. But yeah, I've got something like that in the garage, and I'm sure if I had a look, I'd find a couple of other crazy things out there.
There is nothing in my flat, just due to the fact that I don't have any space, that I moved here knowing that I wouldn't use it. But there's one thing that I know I've left at home. That's the pasta machine.
I've got a pasta maker.
Yeah.
Never used it.
Well, like the roller, it's the pasta machine. I've used it. I have used it. As I said on the pasta episode, I've done a couple courses. Yeah. So every time I do that, I find a new lease of life.
Yeah.
And then I forget. And it's got the clamp thing, and I know exactly how to use it. I just don't.
I just haven't used mine because I need to get over the hurdle of
being bothered.
Finding a gluten-free recipe and being willing to try it gluten-free. So I did a pasta making class. It was actually like a work event, and I really enjoyed it. It's super easy. I know making pasta is not hard, but I don't want to use it and be making gluten-based pasta. I just feel like I'm setting myself up. So I've been doing research on and off about gluten-free pasta, making it from scratch, adding like xanthan gum and all these different binding agents, but I just haven't gotten around to trying it. I think I'm fearful of the disappointment of going through all of that and it just not working out. So it's something I definitely want to. I've left it in my kitchen. It's not in the garage. So I want to use it, but I just the gluten-free thing.
There's a thought in my mind. I've gone to use it for different reasons because ultimately it's a press.
Yeah.
And I think at one point I was making pastry, rough puff pastry, and when you're making pastries with like cold butter in them, you need to keep them cold. So rolling it through a metal press and not having to roll it out and put your heat into it was just perfect. But the pasta machine I have is quite narrow.
Okay.
So it wasn't really going to work. It was going to make like one long strip of pastry, whereas I needed like a large round.
Yeah.
But things like that you could use it for if you are making long sheets of anything. So again, another imagination. I want to know how to make patties. Again, a pastry.
Yeah.
A pastry. I really just said that. I'm falling asleep. Like a pastry, but it does require it can work with a long strip because then you can just make sandwich shapes along the whole thing. Could use it for that. It's a rolling machine at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you could do various things with it.
I mean, I could, but those are gluten-based products that you're talking to me about, babe. So do you know what I mean?
Sorry.
But I was thinking the other day about making gluten-free patties, but I need a flaky pastry. But I think it could still be done. The flake is the folds and the butter. Yeah. So I'm not making a...
Well, not just butter, the fat.
Yeah.
So we digress a little, but the ackee patties from Juicy Patty in Jamaica are vegan. And they're still flaky and delicious. And I think they just use a veg fat in the pastry because it's just when the fat melts, it produces steam and it pushes the layers apart. So
yeah. I've got one appliance that is not a waste, but I definitely think it's seasonal and it's not something I'd use all year round, and that is my Soda Stream. I've realised, on reflection, having had it for about a year now, I've realised that, and to be honest, I've been struggling to drink water across the winter months anyway. Fizzy water, I have a lot more of it in the summertime.
Yeah.
So
it's refreshing.
Yeah, I got it in the summertime. I was using it constantly. I was adding like all these different syrups and like
you bought like a starter pack, didn't you?
Yeah,
you bought like
mint and lime, and it was great. I loved it, adding it to all sorts. I'm generally struggling to drink water, so the Soda Stream is the last thing on my mind, if I'm being completely honest. But I can see myself as it gets back into those summer months, early spring, al fresco type feel. I'll be back on my Soda Stream.
We could use it to make a good mixer for our stones.
Yeah.
A ginger something to try and replicate that that mixer that we had.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
There's the Soda Stream machine.
We've got one at work.
There's like official mixers.
Yeah.
It's let me see. So Soda Stream actually have like their own branded mixers. It's called Soda Press Co. But I believe it's under the Soda Stream name. So I've tried the ginger ale one and I actually quite liked it. I actually started to drink it straight at one point with just water. And they have like a tonic one, which at one point I was just drinking.
Are they not pods?
Water. No, it's like in a bottle and it's a syrup. It's in a bottle and it's a syrup. But you do have to be mindful that although it's a syrup, it doesn't last that long. Because I had one in the cupboard and then when I opened it, it had gone off and it had genuinely gone off, which was a bit annoying, but yeah, we could definitely try it out. So yeah, my Soda Stream I think is definitely more seasonal. I don't regret that purchase at all, but it's not something that I found myself using all year round because I'm generally just not drinking fizzy water at this time.
That.
Yeah, and because also with the Soda Stream, I'm using my Brita water filter. The temperature in the kitchen is so cold that when it's cold in the winter and the water is that cold, because the
Oh,
temperature is so low,
so
it
low.
discourages me
100%.
from drinking it.
I
so,
feel the same.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to dream appliances. Do you have one? Is that a thing? I feel like it's a very grown-up thing to have like a dream kitchen appliance.
I have like a dream kitchen vision, which is like everything is like high tech. That for me is
Smart.
like, yes, a smart kitchen
Yes.
would be absolutely sensational. But I think in the short to medium term, an appliance that is on my list that I would like, and I don't know, again, it sounds quite seasonal, it's an ice cream maker. I really would like an ice cream maker. I did during the pandemic do like those quick, easy
Frozes.
Like when you kind of make ice cream using double cream.
Oh right, yeah.
I did that, and it's cool.
I've done this for work.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's not the same.
No, it's
not the same. It's literally not the same.
Condensed milk as well to add the sugar in. Yeah,
it's just not the same. It after about 2 scoops, you can taste that this is not ice cream and it's frozen cream and condensed milk. So for me, it just wasn't the same. And I'm not the kind of person that is going to be popping into the freezer every 1 to 2 hours to churn it. I'm not. So I would like to make an ice cream, I'd like to buy an ice cream maker. I love sorbets. Blending frozen fruit, again, for me, I'm a gelato babe. It's not the same. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just not the same. Texturally, you can taste, it's not the same. It tastes like frozen blended fruit, and that's cool. You can scoop it into a ball. But it's not gelato. It's not an actual sorbet.
But sorbet and gelato are not the same.
That's what I'm saying is.
Frozen
blended fruit.
So
when people freeze, you know, like 2 ingredients. Sorbet. It's not sorbet.
It's giving flavored ice.
It's giving granata. That's what it's giving.
That's what it is.
Granita.
Granita.
Granita. It's giving granita.
It is.
Yeah, that's what it's giving. And I like a granita.
Shaved ice.
Yeah, I don't mind that, but I would like to make some good sorbets, especially when there's certain fruits or like seasonal fruit. I'd love to make that into a sorbet.
I see that so much at the end of strawberry season. Everyone's like, time to put them in the freezer, and you can whip them out any time of the year to do this with. I'm like, once it goes in the freezer, that's the end.
Yeah. You'll forget about
It's finished.
Yeah.
May as well put it in the bin.
Yeah. There's some like Caribbean fruits and stuff that I'd love to turn into a sorbet, like a soursop sorbet.
Oh my God, I was about to say.
Lychee sorbet. I think that would guava sorbet.
Guava.
I think that would be
I've had guava sorbet.
Yeah,
I think one of my dream appliances is, again, revolved around my dream kitchen, which is like a big boy espresso coffee machine.
Okay.
Like with the
really. If you're watching this on YouTube, you look like a mess right now.
I wanna feel like, you know, you shared it on the story where you're like, all right, we're gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees.
Yeah.
I wanna be in the kitchen being like, 1 vanilla latte, steaming up the milk.
Yeah.
Like
when they're like pushing it up and down. Yeah.
And they're like, get the wiper, wipe down the steamer, keep it moving, tap tap. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Have you done this before? Have you been a barista? Okay, fair enough. You got the vision. I had the plan. What's that meme? I had the plan, but I can't remember. I have to find it.
That is definitely something that I want. But they're quite expensive. They're very expensive. And I'm just concerned that coffee is a phase of my life.
What, now?
Yeah, like, I would not drink coffee if I didn't have to.
I don't like
I don't lean to coffee. I'm not like I wake up in the morning, can't function without it. I'm like I wake up in the morning, oh my God, I need it. Or I'm more of a get to mid-afternoon and be like, I'm going to have it. So maybe getting one would introduce it into my routine in a way of that it's just a theatrical thing every day. But I guess I could be making decaf. But big boy coffee machine's up there for me.
That sounds like I love the smell of coffee beans, but I'm not a coffee person. I think I say this often.
Well, I'll be doing freshly ground coffee in the morning.
Will you make me an espresso martini?
If you say espresso martini,
I just said espresso.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just making sure. If you ask me for an espresso martini, you're not getting anything.
Okay. If you make me an espresso martini, I'll come over. Yeah. Another
one dream appliance of mine is, again, I don't know why, in my big house with my big kitchen, I need like an 8-ring burner stove.
Really? I've got 5 at the moment and I love it, I can't lie.
I've got 5, one of them don't work.
Okay. It's 5 that I've got.
I need like
pretty sure it's 5.
8.
Yeah.
Oh, with a pot filler.
What's that?
The tap that comes out over the back of your thing so you don't have to carry the pot from wherever to wherever. That massive range cooker. But what I don't want is like 5 ovens. The bigger the oven, usually you end up with like an Aga structure of oven. You know, like Aga, the brand, it's like the...
okay, that with the small door.
Yeah, it usually has like
2 doors on one
4
side.
4 doors, yeah. I don't mind a split oven. I think that's actually quite useful. Or 2 ovens in your kitchen. Here's me just... This is now going on my dream kitchen. This is going to be a whole other episode. But big, loads of rings. I'm a pan cooker.
Yeah, I would like... I've seen some people have it where they have a big cooker and then on one side of the cooker there's space for like a grill.
So I have that. So basically, even though I only have
in
5...
this kitchen?
Yeah, so I only have 5 burners, but I have the griddle so I can take off the gas thing. It's in the cupboard.
I need to check if I've got that bad boy.
This is an appliance I don't use.
Yeah.
I can just literally take off the, the black thing, and the griddle slot straight over 2 burners on the left-hand side. It's heavy. It's cast iron. It's heavy. Yeah.
Are you not using it? I'd love that.
I've never used it.
Yeah, I would love that.
Maybe I'll make pancakes in it or something.
Maybe.
Because I literally will warm my cast iron pan on top of the thing.
I'd love that. Or like where it's like gas and you can get like a flame grill kind of.
Yeah, well, mine is gas.
Yeah.
So stick to that.
I would love that.
I'll dig it out after this episode just to check it all functions properly.
I would love something like that. I think that would be super cute. And I think I'd probably like a fridge that makes ice, if I'm being honest. I do like ice. I'm not buying ice and having it takes up space. Doors. Yeah. But I'd love ice maker. I feel like in America this is normal for them, isn't it?
Common.
But in the UK it's not as common to
We have one on my fridge, but it's
an
like
ice maker.
Yeah, the panel doors.
Oh.
So we have a
your fridge at your parents' house.
My parents' house, not here.
That's what I was
No.
like.
No.
I haven't seen that. What's going on here? The grill, the ice.
We have a double door fridge.
Yeah.
It's not new. And on the thing, it just has one holder and you can flip it between ice and water.
Okay.
It's plumbed in. The whole fridge is plumbed in.
Yeah. I like that. Especially in the winter, I'm not too bothered. But in the summer, when I'm fighting for my life, especially these British summers have been going crazy these last few years. I would just like, and for the cocktails. That's what I actually want it for.
Yeah. So my parents' one, you put it on ice mode, it goes cubed or crushed or off.
Really?
And it's got like it's like the masticating juice thing.
Yeah.
And as the ice comes through, it just
really
crimples it a bit, yeah. Or it just bypasses that and just shoots out straight away. But yeah, definitely.
I love that for the glass of stones. Just put that in.
See, I want a fridge that I can do this with.
Yeah.
Another thing, what you reminded me of, I'd like a smart kettle. This doesn't even have to wait.
What does I think I've got a smart kettle.
You can set the temperature.
Yeah, I've got a smart kettle.
So actually, I don't know. I feel like the smartness is what links it to your phone, but you can set the temperature on the base of it basically, or on the thing itself. So you know my Hello Taco babe.
Yeah.
She always drinks tea, so she was telling me personally.
I was gonna say
telling me personally.
She's telling the internet
about her smart kettle, and also her. She has a mug warmer as well.
Okay, so she's a property babe.
Yeah,
okay.
She's my kind of gal.
Yeah.
I love her to death. But smart kettle I want because matcha you're supposed to do at a particular temperature and it's actually lower than boiling. So what I do is I boil the kettle and I leave it. So I literally will put Apple Watch, I'll be like, 3 minutes.
Why? Will it affect the
you'll burn the leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, various teas have different temperatures.
I know, that's the thing. It's actually a whole science.
Yeah, which is why that's my method. When I read the back and it says like, best at like 90 to 95, I'll be like, okay, cool. That's boiling minus 2 minutes. So I'll boil it fully and then I'll open the top and let it cool and then I'll go back to it.
Okay.
So matcha, I usually put the kettle on before I go in the shower and then when I come out, I'll make it.
The tea that you made us, did you make that appropriately?
This is turmeric spice, so it comes how it comes.
Right.
Any other dream appliances? We actually put a Q&A up. Have you got any more?
No, I don't think I've got any more dream appliances.
So, answers to the Q&A.
So a good set of knives, and that's not an appliance, but I would like some new knives. But this is for another episode. Because this is like utensils and stuff. And appliances, no, I would say I don't have any.
Emma has said huge fridge, chef standard fridge. I think so. But I don't want it to look like a stainless steel chef's fridge. I still want it to have a certain level of either integration into my kitchen or sleek black silver.
But she's talking about like the internal functionality.
Yeah, like massive fridge.
Yeah.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4 more responses all say the same thing.
What's that?
Which is KitchenAid stand mixer.
Oh, really?
I have one.
Yeah. And the professional baker?
Yes. However, I would like a new one.
Yeah.
I got this KitchenAid mixer from my parents for my 18th birthday.
Oh. 18? Do you know I've got a KitchenAid mixer in the garage?
What?
There's a KitchenAid mixer.
I'm coming to
in my
save
garage.
that thing tomorrow.
100%.
I'm coming to pick it up tomorrow.
Well, I don't
because I need to send mine to service.
Yeah.
But there's never a good time to send an appliance away.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because you
good time.
might have some orders.
Or I might just. The second it's gone, I'm gonna want
it. When I go home, I'll double check. But as you said it, I can see the box. Whoever
thinks it's theirs in the garage, obviously they don't miss it. Okay, I don't need to keep it forever.
Okay.
But the fact that it's in there, just gathering dust while it's someone's dream appliance.
KitchenAid.
The KitchenAid mixer is, I think, people's vision of what a beautiful mixer should be. KitchenAid products as a whole are incredible. I've had a few of their different bits. At one point we had the KitchenAid kettle at home with the KitchenAid toaster. Yeah. I think it was, we're talking like 10 years ago I got this mixer. Every single day, and I'm probably going to jinx myself now, I'm surprised that this thing is still going, because I definitely did run a business off of this one solo mixer for years. And it says on it, like, I was always cautious, like I don't do anything in it that runs a really long time, but still I was using it like 20 minutes, like giving it an hour to cool down. And it's got to the point that it has needed a service probably for like 2 years.
Okay.
Because I can hear something in the gears.
Yeah.
The power is fine, it's still going.
That thing was working.
Something is loose. Yeah. And they're going to be like, oh wow, you've really used it. No.
Yeah.
Nope. What do they say on it? Like, not for professional use.
Oh, does it?
Well, just the scale of certain things. I think it's because it will be the warranty. If you're like, I make 5 cakes a day and it broke, they're going to turn around and be like, well, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's why. It was the mixer of the Great British Bake Off for seasons.
Okay.
So you know that look of the tent with all the mixes lined up on the edge? It was KitchenAid for ages. Eventually they went on to the K-Mix, the Kenwood K-Mix, which apparently is actually... for value, it's cheaper. And a lot of the bakers I know when I was coming up, the small businesses were buying, like, you could buy 3 of them. So whereas I was using like 1 because it's what I had and I already had it, they were able to like scale businesses and bakeries with these Kenwoods.
My mum had a Kenwood when I was growing up. A Kenwood, because she used to bake a lot of simple cakes.
Yeah, I would get a Kenwood. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I just have a KitchenAid. I completely understand why it's people's dream appliance. Like, it's gorgeous. Mine's just black, but you know what it looks like.
I do, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
The kitchen, and it comes in all different colours. At certain times of the year, they have like collections. They have collaborations with people. I think at one point
pretty,
you could have got like a Dolce and Gabbana, like different stuff like that.
Yeah.
People also feel attached to Smeg appliances.
I was about to say.
Oh my God, you made me jump.
Because I was waiting for you to finish. I was gonna say, actually, I don't have a particular appliance.
Yeah.
But I am drawn to those Smeg appliances, especially the girls on Instagram. They're selling it to me, honestly.
The toaster, the kettle, the fridge. The Smeg fridge has that retro diner look about it.
Look. Yeah, it's lovely. I love their stuff.
If I had a space for that in my life, I would love it. But I'm not really.
That is so pretty.
Yeah, the Smeg mixer. Again, I can't tell you anything about the power of it. I just know that the babes were between the Kenwood K-Mix or the KitchenAid. I completely understand why that is someone's favorite appliance. So my friend, I've spoken to her about this many, many, many times. We were talking about this not too long ago. Making coconut milk. And she basically just makes coconut milk like for her rice and peas and stuff, just using fresh coconut. But I have a NutriBullet and she's like, oh my God, you have to get a Vitamix. You have to get a Vitamix. And a Vitamix is one of those big boy American.
We had a Vitamix.
It's her family home Vitamix. But I think, and every time she uses it, she's like, you know, we've had it for 15 years, like going strong. And I've seen her use it and I'm like, I want one so bad.
Yeah, my parents have a Vitamix. It is chunky, but when I use the Vitamix versus when I use my blender,
little blender,
you can tell. I was about to taste the difference. You can tell the difference in like the end product. So
my parents have the KitchenAid blender.
Yeah,
we've had it for years. And the thing is, the actual the base, it went for years. It eventually went out, but my dad was using it a lot. The jugs, you could just replace them, so they could get chipped, cracked with glass jugs. It's quite inexpensive to replace. They didn't break a lot, but you could, and I think that's good. Sometimes when you have an appliance and you can't break anything without having to replace the entire thing is really bad. So brands like KitchenAid, I think, is good that you can replace parts, you can get them serviced, you can get them repaired. Especially in this day and age where things are not really built to last, it's good that there are still brands out there that are willing to make their product last. I need a new food processor. My food processor is one that I moved out of my parents' house with. I just
you
took
stole it. Yeah.
I took it. And I don't even know the brand of it, but it's a white good.
Okay.
If I had the counter space to display it, I would care more about it, but because it goes in a cupboard anyway.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I think that's everything.
I think that's everything. I don't have any.
It sounds like we're going to have to do another episode on just our dream kitchen as a whole.
I think
and the
so.
functionality of it and the purpose. Island or no island.
Wow.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, wow. Do you know what I mean? Because there's bits from the restaurant experience.
Yeah, maybe we could do it like that.
If I could get some of that into my kitchen, my dream
a maitre d' and a chef.
An open fire. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
Okay.
That would do it for me.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Answer some of our questions about appliances on our Instagram story that will be up the week this episode goes live. And we will catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.